Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This is Hadrian. We're going to start a new series today. This is a bit of a branch from my previous content on the channel. The namesake, really, of the channel, Hadrian, is a Roman emperor, of course, one of my favorite names, and I launched the channel based on the Roman Ascension series, which is still ongoing. But I wanted to diversify the content a little bit just because, frankly, I am finding that recording games like this is, well, fun, first of all, but it's really just good as far as a time management piece for me and something that I'm basically, to put it short, it's fitting into my life really well, considering the other demands I have on my time. So I thought I would do more of it and diversify it and make it more interesting for myself and as enjoyable as possible. Hopefully I'll continue to do the same for you guys. The game we're going to play is called Planetbase, which is a relatively new release. It's been in beta for a long time, but it was released about a month ago by a company called Madruga Works. And this is a survival type game, not a single player survival where you're running around trying to create everything yourself, but it's kind of a god game in that you're controlling the entire base and determining the survival and the expansion of the population on the base. So I haven't played the game in a couple of weeks. I got it and enjoyed it, and it was definitely still in new release. They're working on some things. They've released a few updates, and I thought I would give it another shot. This is going to be a very different type of Let's Play series from my previous example, Roman Ascension, because number one, it's not going to take as long. Number two, it's actually probably going to be quite short. These playthroughs tend to be relatively quick, especially if something goes wrong. So what we're going to do if you've ever played Banished, you know what I mean when I say this. These games are designed to really test your skill and your ability to manage resources, and it's quite possible that the base could fail within just a couple of episodes. So if that happens, then I will either start over or come back to a new series in Planetbase later on. Who knows? I haven't unlocked the second and third planets yet, so I am still relatively new to this game, if you're wondering. So this will be kind of a learning experience as we go through some of the changes that they've made. From what I understand, though, the changes that I'm not aware of, the changes that I haven't played with, rather, are just kind of back scenes, backstage, behind the scenes. That's the word I was looking for. Changes. So why would you watch this series? If you are a science fiction fan or if you are an astronomy fan. I saw an article saying, Elon Musk needs to see this game. And it's absolutely true, because the very first level is you're kind of colonizing what's supposed to be Mars. And it's neat. So if you're a fan of science fiction, if you're a fan of astronomy, you enjoy survival games, this is going to be the series for you. If none of that sounded like a complete turnoff, but you're not necessarily in any of those camps, watch the series anyway. You might enjoy it, and this is going to be a shorter series than Roman Ascension by far. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Let's dive right back in. As you can see, I've only gotten a few of the achievements for this Class D world. Let me show you real quick. There's this Class F world that eventually opens up where I need 5. I've only gotten 3 milestones so far to unlock. In Class M, which is overwhelming, that requires 10 milestones to unlock. So we're going to go to Class D. You have the option of selecting where your base is. Notice that there are no poles right now. I feel like they're going to add this at some point, but there are no polarized caps or anything like that. Of course, there are poles to the planet, but there are no polarized caps is what I meant to say. And you can just kind of pick where you want your base to be, but it doesn't seem to have much of an impact right now, So this is a Class D planet, medium-sized desert planet with a thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, which partially protects it from meteors and solar flares. If I remember correctly, they have completely taken solar flares off of this opening planet. I don't think solar flares will happen. If I'm wrong, then we're in for a surprise. Characteristics, there's a light amount, or there's a high amount of light. There's a light amount of high. There's a high atmospheric density, so good for wind turbines. And there's a high sandstorm risk. There it is right there. There's no solar flare risk. They've undone that. And there's a low meteor risk. Now, when I played this last, meteors would land maybe every 5 minutes. So that doesn't seem like a low meteor risk for me, but we'll see if they've tweaked that. So we're going to go with 12 degrees south and 133 degrees west. Base D85. Sure, why not? This is base. You know what? No, let's call this base. Why not? Let's call it Mars 1. The Mars 1 colony. The very first Mars colony ever. We're going to make it happen. Start the game. Large solar panels and wind turbines are more efficient as they require less spares per unit of energy produced. Ah, that's good to know. Thanks, guys. You learn something every day. This game can be frustrating because, again, it's very punishing. It's designed to kind of test you. There's not a difficulty setting, so I'm just playing on standard difficulty. And here come our colonists. There's also not a pause button in this game, which is very interesting. Even Banished, which I mentioned earlier, which is very similar to this style of play, except you're just kind of facing the elements as a colonial era type village. All right, here we go. If I remember how to play this even. Oh my gosh. Sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy. I just don't... Oh, you hear that? That was a meteor. I don't know. Up. Right there. See? Meteor's already landed like within 100 yards of us. Isn't that nice? So first thing we're going to do. We're going to build... What do we need? What do we need? We're going to build an oxygen generator, which is kind of a central hub for the base. I'll just build a level 1 oxygen generator for now, and we'll put it right there. So our bots will go inside and get materials from inside the ship. And also, we're going to go ahead and build an airlock. This would be how people kind of get in, obviously. Airlock will go right there. So you can see they're bringing in materials. I'll show you more about materials in a bit if you're curious about playing this game or want to learn more. I will try and kind of treat this as a tutorial in a casual sense. Notice that hints pop up and kind of tell you about things, so that's important. All right, we're going to need a water extractor. I'm confused. Why? I'm already a little thrown by what's happening right now. Let's see. We're definitely going to need some power. Is it saying we're out of that resource? Doesn't make any sense. Resources. No, we have 33. Build a connection between those two, please. I'm so confused. I haven't played this in a bit. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Let's see. So we have an oxygen generator, which requires us to have a water extractor. Oh, there we go. For whatever reason, it just wasn't... That seemed like a bit of a bug to me. Strange. All right, let's go ahead and build it right there. Connect it directly. And then, very importantly, I'm behind now. We're already halfway through the day. Very importantly, we're going to need solar panels. The ability to power the base is kind of important. We're also going to need... Alright, well, until I build the solar panel, then I can't build the wind turbine. But we'll also build the wind turbine. So anyway, sorry about that. Don't know what was causing that. I was trying to place that thing that's going up now, and it wasn't working. It wasn't giving me a valid location to place it. So as you can see, the base is completely out of oxygen right now because nothing is running. So they can't get in. There's no power yet, so all the buildings are shut off. The day is almost over, so this could be a rough first night. We're going to build a power collector here. We're also going to go ahead and build a wind turbine now that we have the ability. We'll make it a level 2 wind turbine. So I'm going to build the base out in this direction, and utility buildings will be in this area. That's the plan. All right, notice that things are coming online here. Oxygen is filling the base. Pretty soon those buildings will no longer be highlighted red like that. It's telling me that I can break down the colony ship if I want, but I don't want to do that yet. All right, so this is cool. This is a little bit different. I've never quite seen, maybe I just don't remember, but I've never seen the astronauts, the settlers, the colonists really, carrying materials that fluidly before. All right, so the airlock, as you can see, is open. I'm going to go ahead and disable the domes here. So just remember, they're actually under glass domes, but if I lower them, then it makes it easier to see. So this is Umar Marks, Min Riggs, our biologist, Doris Sanchez. Doris, what a great name for a medic. Doris. That cracks me up. All right, so we have a wind turbine. It's good. We don't have any wind right now, so it's barely going to spin. We're getting some wind, a little bit. All right, the day is ending right now. This is going to be a rough first night because I really dragged my feet at the beginning there. Again, you can't pause the game in any way. So I'm going to go ahead and build a canteen against my better judgment. All the colonists are inside now. They're chilling. There they are. So we have 7 colonists right now and 2 bots. One is a construction bot. That's the yellow guy there. The other is I'm sorry, not a colony bot, a carrier bot. So he just exists to help shuttle materials around. I might have that backwards, actually. Yeah, that's our constructor, the blue guy, who is not really doing anything. Oh, there he is. He was waiting on the airlock. That's what it was. So now we have some astronauts coming out to help us build this thing. So right now, thankfully, our wind turbine is powering the base, which is great because it means we won't have a power outage on our first night on Mars. Again, this is not supposed to be Mars proper. I'm taking a little bit of creative license, but it's definitely meant to resemble Mars. So that's why we're calling it Mars Colony 1 with our 7 intrepid colonists. So we have the invention, the invention. Where did that word come from? We have the option eventually. There you go. Of letting more colonists come in and land. And they don't reproduce in this game the way they do in Banished, those of you who have played Banished. So there won't be any baby colonists, but you can bring in more colonists. I'm not going to turn on that option right away. Oh, they're bringing food in. That's good. Feed themselves. Feed yourselves, people. It's important. I'm not going to bring in colonists right away because, frankly, even though I'll build a landing pad so that we can have trading ships land, having colonists come in and just flood in and say, hey, look, there's a Mars colony, let's go live on Mars, because that's totally what everyone would do, that's bad. You don't want people just flooding in to the colony nonstop. So this building is done. This is the canteen that's going up. It's where everyone will feed themselves. Right now they're just feeding themselves on the floor, looks like. Yep. That's what they're doing. They're sitting on the ground, eating food. Sorry, guys. I will build you a more complex colony very soon. Let's go ahead and build a replicator, basically. It's a meal maker, but Star Trek fans know where I'm going with that. Also going to have a drinking fountain. Let's have it right there. And a video screen for entertainment, so people don't completely lose their minds. Actually, tell you what, I don't like that location. Let's move it. There. That's a little better. I feel like I might want to have a hallway going out that direction where I had it before. All right. So now they're going to collect materials to construct those 4 items inside the canteen. However, now that we have a working second building, our power is going down in the base. Now they're bringing in materials so that they can build the water fountain, which is important. Power storage is critical. I could really use some wind right now. That would be just fantastic. Okay, let's see how quickly these colonists that are thirsty actually come use the water fountain. All right, good. That's one thing they improved in recent patches, is colonists that are thirsty will basically line up for water, which they weren't smart about that before. Oh, that's so much better. That's good. So as you can see, we have planetary news playing now. Our construction bot is going to come in and build those tables so that they don't have to sit on the ground and eat. All right, tell you what. Oh, good, we got some wind. That's helping a lot. What's going on here? Oh, I shut it down by accident. Oops. Wait a minute. I wonder if that's... Did I just find an exploit? Can you turn off the power collector and just your base stays on? Hang on. That can't be. Where's the power grid? Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Or maybe it's just because this thing is going right now. I'll try it again when there's no wind. But yeah, that's what it is. The wind turbine is powering the base. That threw me off for a bit. Okay, now they need somewhere to sleep. That's important. Well, it's kind of important, you know. Ah, dang. That TV didn't survive placement there. Let's see if we can put it back. I'll put it right there. So now they're sleepy. Oh wow, we got a full wind gust now, so we're actually gaining power, which is always nice. This is a power collector, if you didn't notice. It stores power that is collected throughout the day or through the night, either through the solar panels or the wind turbines. It's a pretty good start to the colony here. I can speed up the game, but I want to enjoy the updates and make sure that I don't miss anything by going too fast. Also, let's go ahead, since the sun's coming back up, let's go ahead and build our biodome, which is going to be where we grow food. It's kind of an important thing, right? God, people are so sleepy. ConstructorBot, you need to get your butt out here and start building things. Is that what you're doing? What are you doing? There you go. Okay, here he comes. Alright, so this is going to be the dorm, basically. It's where people can come in and sleep. Usually what they'll do is they'll sleep 1 or 2 people at a time. They might have improved that mechanic as well. We'll see. Dorm has been built, but it doesn't have a connection yet. Hurry up. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and build some beds for these poor people. Survival reached! Survival means that we're not self-sufficient, but we have enough in place that we are living, and we're not just completely dying. So basically the game just said, you're off to a good start, but you could still die any minute, so be careful. Video screen's been built. Okay, so that's been replaced. The video screen's important just because the colonists do have needs to entertain themselves, and they need to make sure that those are, you know, looked after. Alright, so 1 bunk has been built, and someone is immediately getting in it. I need sleep! Good God, I need sleep! Who's in the bed? Can I see who's in the bed? Can I click? No, I can't. Once they interact with the bed, apparently I can't. So Umar Marks is also going to bed. Min Riggs. Min Riggs is in the bed. Alright, so here comes our construction bot. That's going to be really handy because in a moment we'll be able to start growing food. So important. See that? Another meteor. See, that doesn't seem like low meteor risk to me. It seems like relatively high meteor risk. So what is high meteor risk in this game? Like meteors just land every 5 feet, every 10 seconds? That seems a little nerve-wracking. Okay, well this bot's coming back inside. I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode here. We'll jump right back in to record some more in just a moment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit.